JC Game Studios.
Hello, everyone.
That is such a great.
It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood.
7-minute intro.
That is, you know what? That though is every bit the good. That is so good. It's just so good.
An 8-minute delay, a 7-minute intro, and we're done with the show.
Yeah, and that gives us about 15 minutes to do the show, and then
gives us an hour.
Hey, everyone.
And
Good night, everyone.
Sponsors. Intellivision gamer, how are you? Good to see you. Long time no see. Blood and teeth.
Been at least a day and a half.
Man. What's up? What is up? I have not seen the. Is there a brand new Spider-Man movie? Or are you talking about the current one?
Yeah, Enter
the Spider-Verse.
Animated.
Yeah. Oh, the animated one. Okay, I was like, wow, that's quick because I saw the multiverse one. Stacy, good to see you. Atari Creep noticed that it was 9:31. He's already unsubscribed. You know, once those YouTubers
don't subscribe. Don't subscribe to NLG then. You'll be one day and gone.
Once those YouTubers get famous and get their own Amico consoles, they have a short fuse.
That's it.
And good to see you.
Yeah, keep you on your toes. I think the unsubscribe and the subscribing can
Camaro
work.
PJ says wood grain warrior Wednesday. Very, very cool.
There you go.
Emma, good to see you. Good to see you. I love when I see my lunchtime stream got people.
That's
back,
cool.
You know?
That's very cool.
Yes, a creep did get a test unit. I saw his video today. That is awesome.
Yes, he did.
Congratulations.
Yes. Let me catch up here.
We don't have.
Wait a second, he's on the panel.
How did he get into the chat? Who let that guy in?
That's one that's an insta ban right there. Bouncers,
I know.
Come on, pay attention.
Snuck in. I'll get him. Don't worry.
Sean, good to see you, man.
Come on, Sean.
Creep says it's epic. I mean, you got to be having a good time. We'll have to have you back on maybe for the 80th to have you talk about your experience and what you played first and everything.
That's cool.
I can't wait to hear about that, man.
What are you doing
we got
here?
The 80th coming up.
Yes, oneofus.gif.
What's up, Mike? Michael Hayes.
What's up, Michael Hayes?
I am
Intellivision gamer. What's going on, everybody?
So how's everybody been, man?
Been good.
Good. You know, I just realized that Michael Hayes was putting out some of those homebrews.
Oh yeah. He did quite a few. He does a bunch of hacks. He also does
I know you've mentioned it before, and it just clicked that it's the same Michael Hayes that's in the chat. So
yeah, he actually
pretty awesome.
I got this delightful homebrew. It's a multi, and if you have ECS, you can do 4-player, but I only have my original 2609 Fubar, which is kind of like the Splatoon of Intellivision or something. But yeah, you just kind of paint your space, and whoever is left. It's quite a fun game, and there's so many friggin' options.
Like
I haven't even scratched the surface, but we're going to be doing that on my new show.
Kicks meets Snafu.
Yeah. Is it Kicks or is it
Indy,
Quicks?
what's happening? Yeah, he's like, Fubar! Yeah,
it's new chocolatey Quicks.
I have one of the final copies around. I don't know. There's no more copies.
I never got to ask the people who made it.
It's Kicks.
Is my mic okay? See, is it happening again? Does my mic sound weird?
You sound fine to me.
I mean, you sound like you're in the other
room.
You're
in a barrel 3 rooms away. Yeah.
Well, that's not good. Hold on. Let me see. Let me try something here.
Can you guys hear me?
Does that sound better? Does that sound better?
No.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, just talk louder.
Hey, I don't like that if it does that. Hold on, maybe it's my settings. Let me see.
DJ would like a cheeseburger, a small fry, and a...
How does this sound? Is this better?
All right, please pull up to the next podcast.
So I'm on setting 2. Is that better? No?
I mean,
No.
it sounds basically
No.
the same.
Damn it. Hold on. Let me try 3. Hello.
No,
How does this sound?
No.
Nothing?
Does it, maybe it's not on the like the right mic.
That's what
That's
I'm
what
thinking.
I'm wondering. Hold
It's
on,
like
let
it's
me
picking up your laptop mic.
I feel like this is NLG now all over again.
Oh, wow.
That's painful.
Nice.
Indie Racing Nut, I'm really sorry to hear.
Ah,
Sounds like a rough
Yeah.
day.
Check. How's that sound?
there we go. That's a
There's
good
like
time.
2 blue snowball settings in here, and one of them
There we
sounds
go.
good, and I guess the other one sucks. Okay. Well, I'm glad we figured that out.
I had a
Nice.
joke all queued up, but you're a family-friendly show. It was all there. You like teed it up.
Mike will be here all week, folks.
Yes, please try the
Where's the Geek Historian? He's writing great episodes on the Geek Historian channel, and he's still
Yeah,
a
man.
great,
Yeah.
awesome friend and brother to us. So, he just did a thing about a gizmo that had, was it Gidget or something that had the double screen, the first double screen, or like double monitor. Anyways, yeah,
That's cool.
probably
The glucose monitor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chuck, it sounds like you're broadcasting inside of a toilet, you goose. Yeah, so much better. So it was the StreamYard settings. It's kind of weird. I didn't know that because I noticed that on one of my lunchtime ones as well, and I just thought it was my mic. Could have afforded a better mic by now. Thought he was some rich YouTuber. Oh, I'm definitely not a rich YouTuber. I'll tell you that.
No.
Yeah, especially with the 55% that they
Those-
that they take from everything, which is awful in my opinion.
I wish I could say that all of those super chats go to the investment of better mics and equipment for the team here at Amico Forever. I think they go to the homebrew community and
Yeah,
Chuck's growing collection.
Some
to put on
of
games
that
for you
went to
guys.
Michael Hayes for FUBAR. And we'll get into some of that, some Intellivision stuff.
It's
in
a better
little
cause.
bit.
We'll get a
But let me bring up our first little topic. Not little. This is pretty good. I don't know if a lot of people follow Evercade, but I know they have quite a good core audience. I'm one of them. I really love it, and there's like so many things that they've been doing and doing right. And right now they have. And I know I'll let Rich talk about this topic, but I'm gonna play while he talks this thing right here. We're not going to have any sound, but this is showing the new stuff coming up. But anyways, Rich, I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, so Blaze Entertainment had the Evercade Showcase Volume 1 just recently, where they announced not 1 or 2, but was it 6 different collections that are going to be coming out soon. Which is really awesome. The first one that they announced is Delphine. So Another World, Flashback, Future Wars, that kind of stuff.
Why they keep
right here, Another World, dude. I remember that.
Point and click awesomeness. They labeled this one an Amiga collection, which is accurate for 75% of the collection.
mostly Amiga.
But the flashback, the version of flashback that they put on this cart though, is actually the console version of the game. And from what I heard, it was the Genesis version.
Genesis and Mega
So
Drive.
it's not necessarily the Amiga version.
But it's the right version.
But I mean, it's it works. Like so, I always give it the benefit of the doubt. They when Blaze puts stuff on a cart, it's for a reason, and it's either this is the best working version of the ROM that we can get, or it's the one that we got the license to.
Right.
But in this case, I think it was because that was the better working or more compatible with the system version. of Flashback, because I'm imagining since they got the Amiga version of all of the others, they could have very easily gotten the Amiga version of Flashback, but for whatever reason, they chose not to.
You never know. Maybe it could have been a different pricing tier. Someone else could have rights to it.
That's the thing, is that if I remember correctly, and my memory is getting old, US Gold did the Amiga version. They published the Amiga version. I don't remember who published the Genesis version. I don't know if it was the same.
US Gold was publishing on Sega as well, but I don't think.
Was that on?
Yeah.
Was it?
I don't know if they did.
Cindy.
Nice, man.
Thanks for being a part of the Silly Club, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I understand people might be upset that this is labeled an Amiga collection, and one of those games is not the version that came on the Amiga. But on the other end of that, would I rather they have just the 3 games? I mean, you're getting a 4th game in there.
For sure.
Make a note of it. Be clear about it. But I mean, ideally, you would like an Amiga collection to be all Amiga games. But I'm not going to turn my nose at a 4th game.
Right?
Could they not get the rights? I don't know.
Yeah,
Is this the better version and they wanted to go with? I don't know. I mean, sometimes some of that is marketing, some of that is spin. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to say. I don't know what Blaze's decision in this was. They're trying to get these games. They're putting out some nice packages and nice collections. I like the variety that they're putting in there. I have no problem with it, but I can understand other people might be disappointed. They're trying to collect. They're excited about these Amiga games, and they've got one in there that's a misfit. But it's a good game. I mean,
I think we'll wind up getting answers from Blaze in the next week or two. There are some people that are out. There are some people that are still doing business stuff. That kind of stuff. They've been pretty quiet, even after the week before this event and till now. They've been pretty quiet on that front. So I'm imagining we'll be able to get to talk to them soon, and then we'll figure out what's going on. But I mean, me personally, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just give me the best version that you can get and put it on a cart.
Well, that's what I was going to say about Namco. Is like, I hope that they do a Namco arcade and actually have. Like, I want to have, like, Galaxian, which is one of my favorites, Galaga, the original Pac-Man, like the Pac and Pal, the Pac-Mania, all that type of stuff. But I want the arcade versions. I don't want the NES versions. But I understand it might be cheaper. By the way, I'm sorry, PJ Smith, thank you, dude. You were awesome.
My tie-in is likewise with an Atari arcade collection, like PJ Smith has suggested here.
Another Atari would be nice.
I was an audience member, just a viewer on another show, and I'm not going to name names, but Atari got no love for its arcade prowess in the 70s and 80s and 90s. As far as their arcade legacy as one of the greatest arcade games companies of all time.
I know. They did a tremendous job. And I mean, an Atari Arcade 1 on the Evercade is actually a pretty good collection outside of some control issues. But that's not Blaze's thing. The games that they ported, a lot of them just didn't translate well to the regular D-pad, which begs, like a lot of the really, like, I guess we would call them hardcore Evercade enthusiasts, are just begging Blaze to be like, please put out a trackball.
Yeah, a trackball version, especially with those Atari.
Please put out a paddle, like, because those that makes these games on Atari 1
football
a lot better, right? And in some cases, some people will say it makes them playable. But the thing about Evercade that I like the most is the fact that they're all about discovery for a lot of players. So, for example, we're about to see some discovery for those that are in the homebrew scene with the Sydney Hunter. And then before that, we got Pico Arcade 1. Those two collections, for me, I haven't played a single one of these outside of maybe one of the Sydney Hunter games that's on this collection, and that's it. Like, so that of all those games, I'm now going to get, what is it, 11 other games or something like that I've never played before.
And they have the City
awesome.
Hunter Intellivision version of City Hunters on this.
That's right.
You have another Intellivision game on here,
the
which
Master
is
System
so awesome.
version, and the SNES version. So
now I'm trying to remember. I don't know if it said exactly. I'm sure it says on the, because there's the Intellivision version, but which one is that? Is it Shrines? Okay, that must be, because that's the Shrines Apparel.
Yeah. So
Intellivision, which is that one.
Yes.
Because I have the Sacred Tribes on Intellivision, but I never had the. I never played the Peril one. So I'm looking forward to actually playing this first now, because it's so out of print and so expensive.
Yeah.
So this is a great way for me to play, having this cart. So having that right away is beautiful.
Yeah. No, it's absolutely cool. And for Sydney Hunter, and I think it's Sydney Hunter and Pico 1, Pico Arcade 1.
Yeah.
They're pre-orderable right now. So you could pre-order them like immediately, because they're out in August, which is cool, because the other two, the Delphine collection and the next collection that's about to get announced, those two aren't pre-orderable until August. Yeah. So they'll be the next wave for coming out in September.
Yeah, this is the one. Let me see. Maybe if it'll let me. Hopefully, it lets me jump ahead. I hope I don't ruin this.
And I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, this
is
is the next reveal.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
the Sydney Hunter, does it? It doesn't happen to have the ColecoVision version on it, does it? The one.
No,
it doesn't on one of those four.
It's the Intellivision. It's Intellivision, Master System, and SNES, and then Jester, which is a newer game that they've been working on. So yeah, no ColecoVision,
or CollectorVision,
and none of the other ones. But that's Sydney Hunter Collection 1, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not just the Sydney Hunter collection. They actually named it Collection 1, which would imply that there might be more from CollectorVision coming, and then they will allow for more Sydney Hunter games to come out. So that they've been known for doing that. The only exception is if you have something like the dual carts, which obviously don't have numbers attached to them, and then something like this, which is the Oliver Twins collection. This is named the Oliver Twins collection. Period. There's not another one.
Right. Not like Always Awakening.
There's not going to be a second one. So
I see.
They named the cartridges accordingly. So if you see any other cart, like for example, this is Pico Interactive Collection 3, which just came out.
I kind of feel they might be setting themselves up for a bit of a mistake there, where they set up something and then they realize they can get a good deal on a second run, and they want to go and they have a collection 2.
Right.
Yeah, well,
you don't need to name it 1.
They could just call it something else. You know what I mean? If that wound up happening, but these deals, a lot of these deals are made way ahead of time.
Yeah.
And they'll wind up.
They have an idea where they're going and across the board, so it might be years later, and there might be reprints anyway.
100%.
And Sean just wanted to clarify a lot of Atari love. There was just a show that Phoenix Panda Sub 2000 put together, and they didn't even mention Atari for like their top 3 arcade games. So I was just
why he was saying I was on Master Debaters.
That's right. That's right. That's such a fun show. I love being on it.
Absolutely fun.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Chuck. So, and then this is them announcing the fact that they're actually, instead of having 14 collections, there's going to be 16. They added 2 new slots. And it's only going to be indies. And they're going to do an indie special at the end of next month. And they're going to announce what those cartridges are and the rest of the lineup for the year, outside of the next thing that's going to happen, which, like, talk about things that are just out of left field and kind of blow you away. Such a great get, that's about to happen. I was like, wow.
Yeah, when I saw this next thing, this should be it coming up, right?
Yeah, it should be in the next, I don't know, like 30 seconds or so, because they're just going over, oh, hey, here's all the 4 collections, and we're going to be done.
No, but it's so awesome that this next one, because you're looking at, you're jumping out of the 16-bit realm and the 8-bit realm, which I think is where they've pretty much shined or stayed at for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
PJ says so few games ColecoVision released can be put on a collection, so almost everything they did was a port from
That
something
is a
else.
good point.
Yeah,
It would be nice to see some feet. Yeah, and then you also got the controller issues, just like Intellivision, in my opinion.
yeah.
And a lot of that.
Well,
not for everything. I've never, to be honest, I played only Donkey Kong on ColecoVision. I don't know any other games.
Few games that used. I mean, you had the number pad for selecting like your difficulty and number of players, but as far as like gameplay, you rarely use the keypad for gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know if I ever owned a game that did. This is funny.
Yeah.
This is great.
Duke
this is
Nukem on the Evercade.
Such a great get.
And the Land of the Babes. The people, I don't know how many people have not really seen that before.
Yeah, Land of the Babes, Time to Kill in Advance. Like a lot. They didn't get a lot of play. Hey,
and
what's up?
these, this is where it all started.
Yep. Well, and this is the thing that makes the team over at Blaze super excited. Was when they first started doing this whole thing, they always wanted to work on a game and do their own work for it for their own console and have it be exclusive. And they get their chance now with Duke 1 and 2 remastered. Those two games are native. They're not ports. They're not ROMs. They're native to the console. So these are Evercade games, which is really, really cool. So they're putting in a lot of work on them. It's not the first time that they've done that. It's not the first time that they've had a native game. In fact, Cathedral is also native to the Evercade on the All Was Awakening Cathedral collections.
Yeah.
So it's cool. Some things that are like not as nice. That some of the quality of life features on the Evercade that you come to expect to save states and all that kind of stuff that are built into the emulators, they don't translate when there's a native port. They actually just they turn those features off. But it is a little more like authentic, and it is cool that they are the physically working just on that hardware, which is neat.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, I can't wait to get these. And I know I've said it a couple times in a number of different videos, but these two collections are the only ones I can't put on my shelf, because they're PEGI 18, and I just like I can't because my kids go and they just grab, and it's fine.
You put it up. You
library, they can play whatever they want. I just can't.
Those cases.
It's like you put it in the cookie jar.
You don't have a high shelf.
Yeah. It's pretty good times. And then they
hide it in the Atari VCS box.
Yeah.
All right, Blaze, are you listening? We need a PEGI 18
right?
lockbox.
PEGI 18 lockbox. Yeah. I mean, well, and then they hit you with like right after that. They're like, oh, by the way, here's your cool collections, and they for the first time they're like, here's a limited edition console to play it on, and I'm like, all right, I guess you're just making me spend money. It's not like I don't have, it's not like I don't have this Evercade and
they hit you with the limited edition or the
EXP
and another one in here, and I got all the Evercades ever, but like come on, and then here and I pre-ordered it. I mean, it's a thing. Oh,
hey,
television gamer. You're awesome, man. Also a Silly Club member if you haven't joined. Indy loves it so far.
Also Raftsman.
And also a Good Times Club member. Good Times Club represent.
Yes, right. There it is.
Does not let his comrades fall into the whirlpool.
And also he'll see Intellivision Gamer on every Monday on Astro Smash Mondays. He's our new panel member.
Oh, that's
awesome.
It's been a lot of fun.
Really cool.
But thank you so much. That was awesome. And hello to you, sir. Yeah, that was awesome. We do have a poll up. I wanted to see what you guys kind of wanted to. Let me see if I can find it here. So I was saying, what did you want to see next? You want to see more of Dart Frenzy, maybe some different games in Dart Frenzy, Finnegan Fox racing games that can serve maybe car or motorcycle, or maybe some Missile Command. So
they want to see some Forza Motorsport from you, Chuck.
yeah, on the Amico. Yeah, that's exactly what's going to be coming out. I heard they just got that
Care Bears kart racer, please.
Yeah,
Yes.
I would totally play it. Yeah, so right now we have racing games at 50%. Poll will
I
be
just
open
want to
till
see
the
you
end
do
of
the
the
tummy
show.
power little.
Yeah. Hey, you don't think I know who Tenderheart and Grumpy Bear and all them guys are? Okay, that's literally the only two I know. But anyways,
Isn't
yeah,
there a good luck Chuck? I don't know.
Racing games. Speaking of Finnegan Fox and racing games, that was a terrible transition into what I wanted to talk about here, and then we are going to get into a really cool topic that Rab's going to talk about. But
Smooth.
I wanted to let everybody know that Intellivision still lives.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Good to
That's
know.
it. That was it. No, I'm kidding.
There is
The
a
original
pulse.
Intellivision. The original Intellivision absolutely has some amazing companies. Stuff like a Collector Vision, Electronite. One of my favorites that I always plug on this show is Intellivision Collector and Intellivision Revolution. They put so many great games. You know, sometimes it may be just a small run of a port that never made it to the Intellivision back in the day. But there's also some original content and original games, and that's the ones they really do put a lot out there to where you can get a chance as a collector to buy a complete, like perfect example, Michael Hayes' Fubar. You know, I'm going to have overlays. I'm going to have a box. I'm going to have a cartridge. I'm going to full color manual. A recent one I got from Intellivision Revolution was this Galaxian. They never ported any of those type of things. So to see something like Galaxian, and this was such a small run for Portland Retro Gaming Expo end of last year in October, and they had a couple left. It's not even listed anywhere anymore. So this is one of those small runs where, you know, obviously you can't, you know, produce a million of these and stuff, but this was just a cute little collector's piece. I absolutely love it. But I wanted to present. I love how the StreamYard says present instead of share. But I wanted to kind of show real quick. This was one I have coming up, and this, can you guys see that? This is Mr. Turtle that they did for Intellivision, and everything looks green. It really is just turtle green everywhere. So you have like your awesome Mr. Turtle insert to this line Intellivision cartridge. You got your overlays with the artwork on it. Like it really is some cool artwork, and then a full color box, you know. But Collector Vision is done. Like, look at these. You got Mad Bomber. I have this one.
BC's Quest for Tires.
I have it, and I never opened it. I still have it, and I put it in a protective sleeve.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, they've done a lot. There's a lot of stuff. They were the ones. Oh no, I'm thinking of. I can't remember if it was Intelligent. Maybe it was Intelligent Vision that did Princess Quest. That was on Evercade.
That's right.
And then the Collector Vision. You know, you'll see a lot of the Sydney Hunters and stuff like that were on there. And then you'll also, let me see. I don't know if can you see this new screen or no?
No.
Yep,
No,
I didn't
see
think
the
so. Hold
Mr.
on.
Turtle.
I got to represent.
Represent.
I'm going to represent where I'm from. So these are some of these. They have the ROMs, and if you're a collector that really wants to go after some stuff that's out of print, IntellivisionCollector.com has got a ton. Like there's the old Brickout release, Blue Sky Rangers, going up there in price. But here's a new one, Caverns of Mars, which was on the Commodore, or I'm sorry, it was the Amiga?
And it
That
was
was
the
all over the
Atari
place.
800.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, Atari
Atari.
800. Thank you.
It was the Atari 800 because they just came out with the recharge game.
Yeah, Caverns of Mars. I actually have the ROM for this because you can go to they have a ROMs vault you can go to, and you can buy these as well.
And it's in the
Chop.
Atari 50th.
Yeah.
Here's another brand new game called Fox's Quest.
That's cool.
Kind of a puzzle kind of game. You're pushing boxes around. There's some stuff that's out of print here. I just want to go over just a few more and then we'll move on. But look at this. Where are you going to see that ever? Jungle Hunt. Look at the price, though. This is Canadian pricing, but still,
it's Canadian, so that's like $14.
Yeah, it's only $14.
I've never one of these.
Look at Mancala. Look, who wants to play digital Mancala?
My kids are just getting into Mancala.
Look at this, Maria. Oh,
I'm constantly
I like to see it on the
impressed by
Switch with like the 6 tablets where they just go around and all connect.
Yeah, I'm
go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just saying I'm constantly impressed by the ports of actual licensed games that they bring to the Intellivision. I mean, who programs
we got a
Jungle
special
Hunt
guest.
and how did they get where did they get the source to reprogram that?
We have a guest that popped on. Give me 1 second, guest, and I'll bring you on. But yeah, anyways, like I was saying, like Mr. Chess, where you're playing against like a monkey and you're playing against like this robot, and this was an original game, like original chess game, made with absolute love. Operation Cloudfire, Poker Risque, ooh la la, in the form of it was an adult version of the poker game. There's no shifty dealer there.
Does it say Lost? And it have the little.
It does the Las Vegas font, so it actually matches the same size and color as that Rocky and Bullwinkle Space Control.
Scroll back up. Wait a minute. Scroll back up. I thought I saw. Oh, never mind.
Same game and
robots. Okay. It looked like a televoice game.
And the Intellivision gamer is actually sending me this brand new one called Stop the Express, where you throw birds at your enemies. That's right. You stand on top of a train and you throw birds at their faces.
Nice.
But anyways, there is so many amazing companies that are doing this. Like I said, IntellivisionCollector.com, like it always says down there on the ticker. Another one's Intellivision Revolution, where you can go in and see some of these hacks and enhancements. Some of the ROMs are free. You can download a free ROM if you have like an LTO flash or JZIM TV for your PC. But anyways, we have a special guest that decided to grace us with their presence.
I'm always happy to be here, Chuck. Just thanks for having me on the show again.
I'm so sorry.
By the way, look how glittery Rab's shirt is.
It does look like it's got sequins.
I'm like
he
rhinestone over here.
He looks like Tron.
I'm Astro Smashed.
He looks like
smashed.
He looks like he's about to be de-rezzed by.
Lord have mercy. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Well, how are you doing?
Hey,
Saggy.
I'm good. I hounded Rab. I said, Rab.
Long time no see since last weekend.
I know, right? I know since last weekend. I was like, Rab, check your DMs. And I texted you first. I was like, I want to surprise everybody. But you were as Rab said, in the zone.
I was. It's funny because I hear the boop. I hear like the thing showing. I'm like, either someone pulled up another screen or someone popped in there. I'm like, who is this? But
I popped
very
in.
good.
I wanted
Very
to surprise you guys. How are you guys since last time I saw you?
I tell you what, I want to go back to Boston and have a couple more lobster rolls, more food, more tequila, more beer.
That was a good time.
Yeah, we could skip the tequila next time.
What, we're not gonna stream for an hour just eating in front of people?
Yeah, mistakes were made that night.
I'll tell you what, that platter was not a mistake. That was, oh my God, was that delicious?
Yes.
Oh my God, look at this.
I mean, I heard mistakes were made on Friday.
I was at a hotel pool.
all I
I don't
know.
know about mistakes.
That's all I know.
Mistakes were made as far as the stream and the alcohol. Like I said, it was like a mukbang channel all of a sudden.
Television Gamer says, hello, Sega. I watched you play Astro Smash today. Yeah.
Yes, that was fun.
And these slur my words after a night of tequila and beer. But I was.
that
I think
that did
most
warm
people
my
were like,
heart.
"What do you do at 2 a.m.? You pull out the old Intellivision."
Yeah, that is what happened. And no, it was fun. It was fun because I've never played the original Intellivision. I had I had a Nintendo, a classic Nintendo. So that was my first gaming console, was the Nintendo, and I never got the Atari or the Intellivision. So playing the original Intellivision for the first time was interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. That blackjack game was just BS though.
Oh my god, that guy, the shifty eye dealer, man, he's always got something up his sleeve, and it's usually not good.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awful. But the Astro Smash was fun, and yeah, I don't.
You got pretty far, like to get to the 4th level. Now, mind you, like to me, that's a challenging level to get to. Like a lot of people will die like in the pink level before even. So you got up to the UFOs and stuff. There's 2 more levels after that, and then it just gets. I don't know if you've ever seen any of my streams, but that it gets insanely fast to the point where things are just falling down on you, and you're
terrified as she was going from like level 4 to 3, and just sort of like on the cusp.
Well,
with that score falling.
Well, the thing is, like, as a current gen gamer, like with shooters, playing certain retro games are like challenging for me because we've been spoiled with better control systems with a lot of games these days. So when you go back to old school games, it's a little harder because you don't have that comfortability of, the controls are going to be spot on. Like if you jump from one platform to the other, you're going to actually land on. Like, no, you have to jump on that platform in a certain way. Otherwise, you're going right through the platform. So it's definitely a different experience when you're playing games like I play Apex Legends, Overwatch, things like that, going to like an old school retro game where like that was easy for me because I'm used to shooters. So that was kind of the easy for me.
Yeah, you're back and forth in the hyperspace button. Like that wasn't too much.
Just avoid.
Yeah.
I don't think I even pressed that button. When I was watching your video,
I kept going, move your thumb.
Yeah, I don't think I even pressed that button once because I do saw the video and you're like, press the 3, and I'm just like, nah, I'm good with whatever.
You did have a precedent, but like, usually if you keep your finger on it when those heat seekers come down, you can like bounce around, but it is kind of random. What did you now that this is pretty awesome you're on the show? What did you think of did you see kind of what they were trying to do with this now compared to like that old school one that you played that looked like a phone pad?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, with playing it on the Amico controller was a lot better than it was on the original because I'm not used to the keypads, like and you don't need the screen thing. You don't need the placement to know where the buttons are.
Like this like an adventure game. This like shows all your menu and your items and your reset and your levels. Like you need it for that, but like. Most of the time, I just keep it like that and just know where the buttons are.
That's literally what you did. You're like, press the numbers, and I'm like, okay.
Well, I let her have the overlay, and I just kept the bare controller.
Yeah. Chuck is just like dial operator.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I want to make a phone call on this thing. Does it make phone calls?
Yeah, it actually does. It has the plan is outrageous though. The minutes, like you usually about 2 a.m. though, it's pretty good. We should have made a phone call. I'm kidding.
By the way, I do now that I watched that video because now it makes sense why we got the call. Because when I was doing it, you're like, oh, when I lost, you screamed really loud, and I was like, oh, that's why we got the call.
I totally forgot. I should have mentioned that in the video. So if you want to think of how the nerdiest way to get a noise complaint. So like I'm screaming about Astro Smash. We're both kind of I'm pretty loud, I'll be honest. And all of a sudden the phone rings and Saggy picks it up, it's like, hello, and okay, thank you, and hangs up. She goes, yeah, we just got a noise complaint from the front desk. I was like, we're playing an old video game system from the 70s.
As soon as the phone rang, I knew exactly what it was because the phone's not ringing in a hotel room unless it's a noise complaint.
Right, unless it's the front desk telling you to keep it down.
And I'm like, who's calling us? Maybe someone's coming over. Like, I'm like, someone's coming over to play games. They're like, no, can you shut up? The couple next door is trying to sleep so they can get up early. Something like that. That was freaking awesome.
But it was fun. It was fun playing the original Intellivision console for the first time. It was really fun.
That was
my
cool.
heart. It
So
warmed my heart.
Yeah, we'll have more of that. I'm trying to get a little thing going, and we'll have you out here in Detroit with these gentlemen as well.
Well, it's good that you got that one off, but what is still on your bucket list, Saggy?
In general?
Atari creep, as he wants to, yeah.
What do you mean? What's on my bucket list?
You got to play the Intellivision. Is there anything left, or have you like hit?
Oh
the
yeah,
high
yeah. You
point
got to
now?
play like an Atari next, right? Or a ColecoVision or something.
I
Escape
would
before he
like
gets
to
you on the
play.
3DO. Just escape.
No, I would like to play
Yeah,
old
I'll
school
get you on
Atari.
3DO. But
No,
I
I'll
got the
skip a
wireless
3DO.
controller.
No, I'll skip a 3DO. Thank you. I think I did. Did I play a 3DO? I think somebody had a 3DO that I played, but yeah, I'll skip the 3DO.
I mean, it's
I
got
do-
some good games. It's got one of the best Street
There-
Fighter 2 versions that's arcade perfect.
I mean, it had some stuff.
some stuff.
It-
Primal
Road Rash?
Rage was another great port of
Rage.
Primal Rage.
And although I had the Saturn version, which was fairly equal to it, Road Rash is one of the top games on that system.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
would like to
Road
play
Rash
old
is
school
insane.
Atari. I would like to play old school Atari though.
It's a
I
lot of
have
fun.
an Atari. It's
What's
just it's
that?
I don't have like adapter for it. I only got it's an RF switch, so it's like I usually use emulation to play it, which like a creep was just saying one of his favorites was the Astro Blast that we talked about last
Mhm.
week and like so like Saggy remembers the Astro Smash, so hold on, let me see if I can find it. I guess I'll have it. This is Astro Blast on the Atari. It's a port of Astro Smash on the Atari.
Mm-hmm.
But you use a dial like the paddle controller, the circle controller, like to move it.
And I watched Creep play this, and I was highly intrigued.
I actually watched that whole video. I was like, oh,
I
that
watched
looks
the
cool.
whole thing. I'm like, how is he playing like that? And then I realized he's using a paddle.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
use
So
the
what
paddle.
I want, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to be on last week, but one of the things about Atari buying back the M Network stuff
Yeah.
is I would love to see them put Astro Blast on the VCS where I could use my classic controller, and I would shout out to Rich, brother.
I was
Rich,
just gonna say,
for
there it
printing
is.
me out,
There
for printing
is
me out
custom
instead
printed,
of. Yes,
top.
I've got to get. I still haven't put mine together yet, but I am intending on. So
Yeah,
I am.
it's so
I would
good.
love to see, to be able to play that on the VCS.
Yeah. No, that would be awesome.
So,
Yeah.
That
maybe
is
a little-
awesome.
You know, maybe a
I
little
would love to see.
remaster.
I think was the original Avalanche an Atari title?
Well, Avalanche
Before,
was
'cause
the
that
first, was the working title of Astro Smash.
No. Avalanche came out. This was basically like a version of Kaboom before Kaboom, like in like the.
Oh.
70s.
Oh, yeah.
So I would love to see Atari put out that. I mean, with the,
That would
with the
be kinda
paddle
cool.
controllers, that would be a real.
That would be neat.
Yeah, instead of having the little guy, you had like rocks come down at you, and you had to, catch the
Okay.
rocks rather than catch the bombs.
Nothing like catching bombs in a basket.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Never forget. I had it. Just all of a sudden they were safe. They didn't blow up. I don't know why. That was kaboom.
No, but that's why I didn't mean to like derail. I'm sure you had another topics. I just didn't mean to come on and derail.
No, you could absolutely. You got open invite anytime, all the time.
yeah.
We are going to get into the next topic, and that is
Oh
parents
shoot!
in gaming
Uh
in 2023.
Ah, yeah.
About that. No.
About that. No, it's Father's Day weekend is coming up, so I just wanted
Yeah.
to tie in something with the families and gaming, and it's kind of one of the base points of the Amico, and I think a lot of our excitement about Amico is a lot of these old games, but I like to remind everybody that there is a target audience that this was made for. There is a case study to be made for a user case scenario for games with young children that I think the other major players either don't touch or barely touch that market. Xbox is getting better about putting out games for kids. I've seen Paw Patrol, I've seen PJ Masks, I've seen Hot Wheels Racer and stuff. I mean, these are games that are on multiple platforms. Same with PS5, PS4 has a handful of titles that they've put out over the years. Nintendo Switch has a few games they put out. They just put out Playdate with JJ, CocoMelon. If you guys don't know who CocoMelon is, I know Tommy discussed this a couple of years ago about trying to get something in the works with them. And before things went south for Intellivision, CocoMelon is the producer of Little Baby Bum. You guys probably may have heard of Blippi, those of you who are parents.
I remember us talking about that.
The guy with the
yeah.
blue and orange hat. It's like just super excited
I
about
know all
everywhere
of
he
those.
goes. I know you know them all, Rich. And then the cute little baby JJ that's on all these little. I mean, kids love to click on tablets and watch all these shows and stuff. And then Baby Shark, the song that has haunted us for like the last 5 years.
Baby Shark.
Stop it. Mute her.
Hey, look, nothing was as nightmare-inducing as the Wiggles.
Oh yeah. My goodness!
I agree.
Wiggles.
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. But
that was some nightmare fuel.
Worse than the Teletubbies. I mean, come on.
Well, no, but they were
nightmare in their own way. That was pretty nightmarish.
They were nightmare. Well, I was gonna say, Rab, like I get what you're saying, like with the kids' games, but I think that most families, when it comes to gaming with their kids, or games for their kids in general, they're going to be more focused on cell phone, mobile games, tablets, and Nintendo Switches, rather than because like Xbox and PlayStation, I feel like especially for young kids, is a little too advanced for them. Like they can play it like they can play it like young kids. I'm talking about not like preteens or 8-year-olds, because trust me, Fortnite is a nightmare with kids. But most families are playing more kid-friendly games on Nintendo and tablets than PlayStation and Xbox, in my personal opinion.
Unless you're my 8-year-old who plays Sea of Thieves.
Yes, that's fair. I mean, Sea of Thieves is fun.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves is fun. No, and what's the other thing that he loves to play? Because it's easy. Speedrunners is a game that he loves to play. But at the same time, to Rab's point, I mean, I have a video on my channel of that same 8-year-old and I busting out Shark. Mm-hmm. So there is a and so Rich,
there's an opportunity here.
Rich and Rab and Chuck, we were all Sunday morning before we met up with Tommy and Saggy and hung out playing Amico. We were playing Sideswipers, which is on there. And
that's fun. That was fun. I had a good time playing. That was my first time playing that.
Seth, my 13-year-old, right there with us the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rich, Saturday night, playing Dart Frenzy, playing Cornhole.
Yep.
And then at the same time, that same 13-year-old sat with me Sunday through the whole Xbox showcase and went, "Yep, I want Starfield." So it just because they and I've always said this, just because they play Xbox, just because they play, like Seth plays Doom Eternal and Halo, Seth plays Sea of Thieves, but that does not stop them from coming down here, playing Cornhole, playing Shark, playing Sideswipers, playing Missile Command, playing a ton of these. But only if you're the Will Sasso, Steven Seagal from Mad TV. So there is a case to be made, and both my kids have Switches.
Good times are going to end with Retro Rich. All right, sorry.
Nice.
Go ahead, Mike.
This is Good Times with Retro Rich.
Tier God asked where the article is that we're looking at right now.
So I sent Chuck a link. This is this is Nintendo's investor report back from 2021. So this is about 5.5 years into the Nintendo Switch. Late 2021, I think, or this is for like 2022. But the data in here stops, I think, September 2021. And this is a breakdown. This is the only breakdown we've ever seen of Nintendo's user base. This is from Nintendo itself. And if you sit and measure every little one of these charts, it will add up in little millimeters. It will add up to a perfect percentage. It's a nice breakdown of their audience. But what you see is that, children under 8 are like 1.6% of the entirety of their user base. We say yeah, families are more inclined to get something like a Nintendo Switch. But I think for a very long time, and the numbers may have changed because Nintendo has switched their family marketing, but in the first few years of the Switch, they did very little in family marketing. And now we're near the end of the Switch's life cycle.
Right.
Nintendo's numbers themselves show that younger kids are not really engaged in the console market. The ESA has released data that shows that, kids under 8 really the number of kids playing consoles has gone down. The number of kids under age 12 playing consoles has gone down. The move has been everything towards tablets. Families have been finding tablets more useful for them. They get kind of that educational content out of the tablets. It's a little more controlled than some of the stuff that they get on consoles.
Yes.
However, the tablets are very solitary, and parents still have this concern about, well, we're giving them screen time, but we kind of feel like, it's like attitudes before used to be like, okay, you could watch TV, but that's the boob tube. It was, brain rot. It's something that's not necessarily giving them good feelings or good, they're not getting as much out of it as they'd like. And I think part of that, there's a lot of articles out there by a lot of researchers who say, you shouldn't be worried about screen time. You shouldn't be worried about so much about content so much as, the intent of certain things and what they're getting out of it and how they're using this stuff. If they're using stuff that's, learning stuff, or if they're using stuff that is, engaging with social or civil discourse and the world around them, that's great. If they're using stuff that kind of includes their family and you're involved in it, that's great. And, it's great to see some of these games come out for the Switch and Xbox, like Mike's talking about. There's just not a lot of usage. And I think we're leaning into, the Switch is here. The Switch can do it. But the Switch really isn't doing it. It'd be nice if it were doing more. It'd be nice if parents were not just saying, okay, I'm going to give you a Kindle tablet and you can download all these games through Amazon that I don't know. I haven't vetted, but I guess they're good for kids. It's just, it'd be nice to have other options like that. And that, I think, is one of the intentions of the Amico. Families playing together, families being more involved in the games and the activities of what their kids are doing. So it's not a solo activity, but it can be a solo activity. They're fully comfortable with it. But also all of these games that are also simple and quick and easily involved, easy to pick up. They don't need to learn all the extra buttons. They can be as simplistic as just tapping what's on the screen. And, there's a market for that. There's an audience for that. Nintendo's numbers say that. Xbox, when Phil Spencer is talking about the Xbox market and who buys an Xbox, it's 90% of people who had an Xbox last generation. It's the same with
adult.
Sony. It's
also a lot of adults because of all the adult games.
It really, it really is. It is they are, if you watch the showcase, except for, I really can't think of much that I could point towards Spencer.
There was some on the follow-up that they did that was good.
There was a couple on the follow-up from ID at Xbox, but the main showcase didn't show anything that I would sit Spencer.
No, not in the main, not for the main showcase.
Exactly. The other thing about tablets too, tablets aren't bulletproof, and the biggest example.
What do you do for fun on the shooting range?
Shooting iPads.
That's right. We still have a giant problem with Roblox, and Roblox is one place that young kids still flock to, and the problem with sitting them down with a tablet too, we've run into this even with what they're watching on tablets, is that we can't always see what they're doing. Mm-hmm. And so there's a lot of times with Spencer, I've got to go over and see what he's doing and you need to get off of this. I swear to God, I'm going to take your iPad if you don't stop watching this, if you don't stop playing this, if you he finds ways to circumvent even the age gate for Roblox. He figured out how to sign in as Seth. Well, right, but what I'm getting at is
mine give me the cute look like, you could show me the password. I'm good.
And he gets Seth's password.
You're cute, but no.
Stuff he can't, right.
Right.
The reason that
I mean my kid, but Mike, you're cute as well. We're sharing the love tonight. Go ahead. Sorry to be.
I'm only cute now. I wasn't cute 226 pounds ago. So,
you were cute plus.
There you go.
Plus. We will never body shame you, Mike.
And you'll never be able to.
Me, on the other hand.
I am no longer being invited to play with Mike. I'm done.
Yes. Next thing you know.
Well,
too
Chad,
much
it was nice
Casatella.
knowing you. I won't be here next week.
Hey, look, I still haven't finished all those fig cookies on purpose.
Those are so good.
I know. There's a reason I didn't take the Casatella. The thing
regatta
that
have gone bad.
No, I'd eaten them.
I've completely
20 minutes later, Mike still hasn't finished his point.
All these cookies.
Welcome to NLG. Am I on my own channel? What the hell? So
Hour 7.
The whole reason that I've seen what the concept of the Amico does with families, right? I've seen it in action. I've seen it with my own kids. I've seen it with other people that I've put it in front of. It's what we are as parents. It is something that you can sit a child down at and walk away from and be confident that what they're playing is acceptable for their age range. And I think that is important, especially as we come farther and farther and farther and farther into this digital age. And I'll finish with this and then cede the floor. There's a while back, a lot of us kind of were pressing Tommy and Phil, why can't the Amico be online? Why can't we do online gaming? Why can't we do online gaming?
I wanted that
It
for
really
the old
needs
stuff.
online gaming. It really doesn't. And I think that
I agree.
What I've watched with Spencer as he's gotten online on Sea of Thieves, and thank goodness it's been innocent enough that he doesn't know how to chat yet. He just goes around and bosses everybody around because he's the captain, but he hasn't really encountered anybody who has, harassed him online, bullied him online, tried to, but did have somebody try to talk to him through Discord. So I think there are parents who don't want their kids online. This becomes that alternative to something. They don't shove a tablet in their face. They don't, but they give them something that they can walk away from, let the kids play, and they understand that they are.
It becomes a clear choice that, okay, it's not something that I have to disable. It's not something that they can what happened to me?
You muted yourself.
No,
I hear him.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear him.
Or
technical issues at NLG. It's just
Maybe
another
it's me.
NLG show. Yeah.
Yeah, it is because I hear him.
Hang on, it's apparently me. Hang on.
Well, I was gonna say,
I hear him.
I can honestly say, I really wish that less kids were online. Like I said, I play Fortnite sometimes, and man, listening to them kids, so I have to turn off the game chat because them kids in the game lobbies, woo! Like I'm sitting there, like, where are your parents? Like, why are your parents not listen? How do your parents not hear you yelling like racial slurs and all this nasty stuff in the microphone? Like it's absurd. But I will say this,
They've learned it from you, okay?
From watching you.
But no, I will say, like, I think that's why Nintendo has been like the #1 console for families, because there's not a lot of couch co-op games anymore. Majority of like Xbox, I think Xbox at one point you could have up to 4 people play, but I think now I haven't played the Xbox. I think it may be only 2 controllers
3.
now. I could be wrong. 3, okay.
Well, you could have up to 8 controllers connected to the Xbox, but most co-op games are 3-player, which I don't understand. But most of them are only 3-player.
Right. So like you can't have a full family of 4.
You drop down to 59 frames per second.
Right. PlayStation's PlayStation's mainly 2 control. Like there's not a lot of, and on top of that, and Nintendo has exclusive kid-friendly franchises on their console, which is a big draw. Like Mario's a big draw. You know, the Mario Party, Mario Kart, Mario Sports, all that stuff. Everything Mario is only on Nintendo. You got Sonic stuff. I mean,
Yoshi,
Sonic is kind of
Kirby.
cross. Yeah, you got all that stuff that's exclusive to Nintendo, which is a big draw. So I'd say, like, when it comes to Amico. I know I said I was never going to do Amico talk, yet here I am. Screw it, YOLO.
Here you are on Amico.
Here I am, YOLO. Here I am, YOLO.
Cream.
But I will say this. When they came to the Amico, I think that I don't have a problem with another console being catered to families. And I do think, like I said, the online aspect for me, I think for us, because we're so used to it with modern gaming, like that's fine. But I do like the fact that if it's catered to children, especially, like, yeah, can we not have something online? Because I'm so tired of Fortnite lobbies with these kids.
And that's why Nintendo has always lagged behind in online play for their games. When they brought out the Switch for years, it was very sparse, like what was, playable online, and then what you could do online, and the options. It's a decision Nintendo made when they had the DS, when they had the Wii and the Wii U. They had exclusive online, the Miiverse and stuff that you can interact and stuff, and it was very very heavily moderated, and still people were finding ways to kind of make that a difficult space.
Yeah.
Right.
People are going to be people, but Nintendo doesn't want to deal with any of that. So they really dropped a lot of the options that they had. And I think it's nice that parents have that option. That's like, it's not going to be a mistake. I'm not going to accidentally have them online. It's just like, it doesn't even come with this thing. It's not part of the
I will say this with Nintendo. I think that Nintendo being online, and also I like the fact that Nintendo now is doing cross-platform stuff. So now a lot of the games that they have for like PlayStation, Xbox, you can do cross-platform with Switch, which not all games on Switch, guys, that is cross-platform is good. Like Apex Legends on Nintendo Switch is trash with the controlling. But
so
I like that.
Combat.
Right, but I will say with the online on Switch, again, like they
calculator rocks.
Nintendo didn't just want to cater.
Awesome for $10.
Yeah, Nintendo didn't want to just cater to families and kids. They also wanted to cater to like the single people, like having games for adults to play by themselves without their kids. So I like that they did try to kind of expand from just like kid-friendly franchises and just a bunch of Japanese titles to like, hey, you want to play Call of Duty on Nintendo Switch? Now you can play Call of Duty on Nintendo Switch. It's for you.
Not yet.
Nintendo audience is everyone, and I think that's the right decision for them to be in. I think it's a good choice for them as a company. But I also, like, I was listening to, was it Spawn Wave maybe a couple weeks ago when he was leading into the Xbox showcase, and one of the things he said is like he was looking forward to, everybody seems to be looking forward to, they hope that Xbox has a good showing because, Sony, I think he said Sony seemed to be getting too comfortable. And he likes that, okay, there's competition there. Somebody's there to give him a little bit of a push in that direction. And I always feel like, okay, Nintendo occupies this family-friendly, cutesy space, all of that. Nobody else is really trying to do anything in that space. We've heard Jim Ryan say about Sony, they'd like to have, billion-dollar movie franchises like, Nintendo has. They'd like to have stuff that is more geared towards kids. They'd like a lot of stuff. They just don't put their money where their their mouth is. It'd be nice to have a competitor in this space that is operating towards a similar audience that Nintendo kind of may feel it owns and doesn't have to cater to. When Nintendo came out with the Switch, the last year of the Wii U, they did almost no marketing for the Wii U. The 3DS was kind of dying down. Okay, they had the 2DS that was geared towards kids. There was a couple games, but there wasn't much that they were marketing saying like, we have a system, we have a lot of games towards families and play. I mean, they were trying to pivot towards everyone, which is great. But then the other side of that is you didn't see much that was specifically for that traditional audience that they kind of felt they had. So it's nice to see some competitor out there that is saying, we would like to play for that market too, other than just tablets, because tablets are run by Amazon and Apple and Google. And I'm sorry, but Apple and Google are the biggest gaming companies, and they are two of the worst gaming companies, setting, everything we see about, pay to win mechanics and dopamine type play mechanics that we see in tons and tons of endless games. That is the state of mobile gaming. That is what a lot of parents are, kind of facing and seeing with mobile gaming and tablet gaming and stuff. And these game mechanics are working their way into console gaming, and a lot of us don't like it. Well, that's what families have on tablets, and they have to work through as well. It's very simplistic, very manipulative, very dopamine driven. Just get them to keep coming back, get them to do whatever it takes to buy a little more. And if that's the state of mobile gaming, I'd like a competitor that's going in a different direction, trying to do something like Nintendo's doing, and maybe keeping them a little interested. In that.
I don't mind some game titles that are console coming to mobile. Like I play Call of Duty Mobile. I actually really do like Call of Duty Mobile. I actually bought a controller for my phone so I could play Call of Duty Mobile. But I will say, like with Microsoft especially, I feel like if I recall correctly, I think Microsoft, when they first launched, they started with like their main draw was Halo. Their main draw was like Halo, Gears of War, like games that weren't really for families or kids, you know.
They were computer games, yeah.
Right. So I think that like with that, when it came to Microsoft, I don't think was like the Xbox was never really, in my personal opinion, this is just my opinion, was never really catered really for families and kids.
Oh no,
it was definitely more for old.
It was more of the adult. Yeah,
right. It was more for an adult audience.
It was the shooter bro console,
right,
for a long time.
Right, which is why I think like with Microsoft, I think where Microsoft definitely failed this launch was like they didn't have their main draw. Like who's playing Halo anymore? Who's playing? When is the last time they made a really good Halo game?
Mike.
After Bungie,
people are still playing Infinite. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah,
playing
Infinite, but they haven't played. They haven't played since what was it? 4 was a big disappointment because that was the first time. What was it? 343 was doing it. After Bungie left, they gave it to another company.
Yeah,
well, 343.
Yeah, because but most of Bungie stayed behind to make 343. That's what people don't realize.
Right.
I mean,
343
really
is Rump Bungie. Yeah.
And that's really sad because that game was not the best.
I do remember Fusion Frenzy was
better
cool
than people gave it credit for.
The best one for me was Reach. I loved Reach.
Reach was great. Reach was
Reach
fantastic.
was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, Reach was really good. But that's the thing.
ODST was really good too.
Yeah, ODST was pretty good. But that's the thing, when the Xbox Series came out, like what was their big draw? Oh, Game Pass. The Game Pass was a smart move. I'll give them that because they didn't have any really big draws for that launch. So, but I mean, I will say with Rob, I do agree. It's nice. I think it's fine to have other console options out there, you know, for people who want those type of features. I don't think there's a problem with it, but it just needs to happen. John Alvarado, mustache it, make the mustache, make it so. I want to see John Alvarado's mustache actually like do some magic. Like he's a genie. He looks like a genie. Yeah. So I'm gonna rub the lamp, and you're gonna make me 3 wishes. Number 1, I want to win the lottery. Number 2, I want all of us to get together again, so it triggers the internet. And number 3, can we please just release the Intellivision Amico so the saga's over and I can actually play my physical copy of Finnegan Fox.
That's right.
Yeah.
That I still have, by the way. It's not collecting dust or anything.
You could have played Finnegan Fox. I should have brought it. I didn't even think of that.
I have the so let me ask you guys a question because I haven't been able to ask you. If you guys, because you guys have physical copies of Amico games, right?
And they work. They download.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Did you actually test that out? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
I did it on. I think a couple of them.
I did it on Missile Command.
Evil Knievel is when I first got mine. I just went, but I didn't even ask. I was like, dude, and it was like downloading. There you go. Yep. It took like 30 seconds.
And if the game's already there,
I'll be right back.
Tap it, it'll launch the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's cool. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, like John Alvarado, your mustache, make it happen.
Rab might have gone to change his shirt.
It was very sparkly. It was very distracting.
I couldn't stop looking at it.
I know. I had to look down.
He's too sexy for his shirt.
Good. Disco,
good. Yes.
Before it goes off too far off the rails, I'm gonna.
Oh, you're too late.
I'm gonna have to say goodnight.
Oh, yes, right. He was limited on time.
You actually have to go this time.
I do. Yes. That does happen. So, but
he's a very busy man.
Thanks as always.
We love you.
For having me on. It was great. It was a great time to hang in everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good seeing you, Rich.
Dude, it was indeed a good time with Retro Rich.
That's right.
It was definitely more than fun for 5.
That's right. For sure.
I've got nothing, but thank you, Rich. And my special interactive Intellivision shirt. You guys didn't get one?
Nice.
Only you got that.
Yeah, night everyone.
Take
Good
it
night.
See
easy.
you later. Thanks
I see
again.
Sean-
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I see Sean's
ya.
comment about Halo 4. Listen, I know a lot of my friends who were hardcore. I was really big into Halo, and I will say this, I agreed with a lot of people. I did not care for Halo 4 that much. I would say
People
the
didn't like
games
the
before.
people didn't
The story?
like the story.
Yeah, the story
thought
was crap.
See, I don't agree. I thought that I could because to me, after 3, where else could you go? I thought they did the best they could because 3 was literally finish the fight, and then they're like, all right, well the fight's finished, so now what? And everybody's like, well, you need to bring out another Halo game. And 343 is like, well, we kind of want to do something else. And the Halo fans were like, no, you're not allowed. So that was the next thing that they could do.
But they
was
could
to-
have done it without, like, I get that, but like, Reach was great because it was about a separate story that wasn't revolving around Master Chief, which was, I mean, again, I love Master Chief. Don't get me wrong. Don't come for me for, I love Master Chief.
No,
But yeah, Reach was a good,
With his helmet on, maybe. Nah.
wait, wow, everyone really hated that. I loved when he took it off. I was like, oh, so that's what Master Chief looks like.
No.
Hello.
No,
It'd be weird to
that's
have a
when I
whole
lost.
show with it not taking
Well,
it
well,
off.
wait. So hold on. Now we got to sidestep about this thing because everyone gave. I was watching that when it first came out, and I'm sitting there like everyone was giving it crap, like, "Oh, Master Chief took off his helmet." I'm like, yes, because in the game, the point of him having his helmet on was you were supposed to be Master freaking Chief.
Yeah.
You were Master Chief. Now this
Right.
is a TV show, so it's an actor. So yes, he's gonna take off his helmet and not be you. Surprise.
And when they make
he
a
not a
Zelda
human? Is
movie, Link has to talk. I mean, you're not gonna have a 2-hour movie or a 90-minute movie where it's just like,
I mean, he doesn't have to
That's
talk.
not the same.
I think he has to talk. Yeah.
No, he doesn't
Not
have to
the
talk.
same.
If you're making a
He
movie, what other 90-minute movies with a main protagonist? It's gonna be awkward.
Wasn't it what that first person Harry game movie? He didn't talk at all.
Huh?
There was that movie that came out that was it was like a first person. It was supposed to be like a first person video game movie. It was what the heck was it called? Something Harry. Harry.
Oh, Panda's here. He might know. Oh my God, is Halo coming to the Miko? Oh my God.
Hey, it came to the Atari.
It 100%
2600.
is.
Halo Reach.
We can
But the
I
thing,
can
too,
verify
was-
that right now.
That's
Let me just
great.
give the old Merlin.
There you go, Michael.
Go
That's
ahead
got to
and-
be the voice. He's
They
gotta be
want
a
to know about
chronically
Halo
irritated
on the
12-year-old boy.
Amico. 2 beeps for it's coming. Oh, it's not coming, guys. Sorry.
Even your Merlin.
Actually, didn't
That's the wrong Phil.
Link, I'm pretty sure
I
Link
think-
talked.
Yeah, I think
pretty sure Link talked
Phil
in the
Spencer's on
cartoon.
the Speak and Spell.
No, that's what somebody.
Yes.
Michael Hayden said it. Yes, in the cartoon. Well,
Yeah, in the cartoon,
cartoon
he
said it.
spoke. He spoke all the time.
Yeah, but you don't
Link.
need Link to speak.
Well,
You
I'm
don't
not
need
gonna-
Halo.
you're
You
not
don't need
gonna watch a
Master Chief to
movie
take
where
his. You don't need John to take his helmet off. You do
I mean-
not need Master Chief to take his helmet off for Halo to be a whole series.
But you guys realize the reason why these tropes are how they are in the game is, like you said, for you to embody the character. You're not embodying the character when you're watching a movie. You're not making any of the action. You are watching it take place. So voicing the character is fine. I mean, for the most part, Mario wasn't voiced either. Yet in the movie, he was voiced. And I think they did a really good job with the direction they went. So
Yeah.
I
Also,
could
the
see them
actor
do the
needs to
same.
get paid. Also, the actor needs to get paid for FaceTime. Let's be honest. That's probably why he's like, listen,
That
I'll
could
be
have been in
Master
his
Chief.
contract.
Yeah, I think
No.
I think that's part of the thing too. Because if you think about Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., every time he was on screen as him, he got paid, and you didn't have to pay him for his voice as much. But whatever. But no, I would say that with we're doing Xbox takeaways. I'll say this. Listen, the Xbox I think the Xbox was great in its time. I don't really know as far as right now, as far as competition with Xbox after the Xbox Series launched. I really feel like Xbox rushed it because PlayStation 5 was coming out, and they needed to come out with PlayStation 5, but it's like, but you came out with nothing. You came out with no real exclusives, no big draw. PlayStation 5 really didn't either, for the record, but you know, it's
and they don't have anything but Spider-Man this year.
And
Right.
what do you guys think of Starfield from this whole?
Oh, it looks,
That's
it looks
gonna
beautiful.
That's
It-
gonna be a wild game.
It looks
Do
like
you think it's going to have any issues? Do you think it's going to have any issues?
It better not. So I tell
like
you what,
Cyberpunk was supposed to be the biggest thing ever too.
But Cyberpunk was just CD
Different
Projekt
game.
Red, whereas
Yeah.
this is Bethesda, and Microsoft can move a lot of those studios. What are they doing? Well, they might be doing some testing and stuff with Bethesda.
I said
I would not be surprised.
Didn't they say Redfall had problems though?
Yes.
Yes,
but Redfall was never the.
That was the one that interested me. I was like, dude, I may buy a next gen console to play Redfall, but
here's the difference. Redfall had Arcane working on it, and only Arcane, and that's it. With Bethesda work with Starfield, they have pulled other teams in to work on that game. We were wondering why we
just
didn't
the
see
scope of that game.
Why we didn't see anything from Indiana Jones and some of the other Bethesda studios, and I'm like, because they're all working on Starfield.
Yes,
there is no.
It looks beautiful.
It can't come out. It can't come out a buggy mess. Not after multiple delays. Not after talking about it being, their first new IP in 27 years. That it's been in development for goodness knows how long. They have to land this one. So for Bethesda and for Microsoft, there was an article that came out, I think yesterday, that said Phil Spencer was the one who put the brakes on the November launch and said you take the time to make it right.
Yeah,
and it is all hands on deck for Bethesda right now. So
I mean, even with patches and everything, whatever they do with Redfall, I don't think it'll ever get the second chance after coming out in that state, and that's one of the risks of games today. If they come out a buggy mess, especially with something like Game Pass, where people have options and they're not going to stick around, that they'll work on something else. I think you have to come out with something very polished. Something swinging with something of this caliber, like a God of War, a Spider-Man.
Xbox 100% needs to start bringing back their old the games, like continuations of games that they really put them out there. Like you said, Gears of War. They need a new Gears of War game on the Xbox Series. That would probably get a lot of Microsoft fans, like Xbox fans, to either come back or at least get an Xbox Series just to play God of War, Gears of War. They need to get these games that really put them out there back. Like, I would love to see them do maybe a remake of Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead was a big game that was on Xbox 360.
But that's Valve, and Valve is Steam, and they're never going to make that game again.
They need to do it because they need to do it.
Crimson Skies. But I completely disagree with you, Saggy. I think Xbox has a few titles they really have leaned in too much, like Halo and Gears and Forza. And what I saw with the Clockwork Revolution that In Exile was working on, the direction, the art, the theme, the scope of that game, South of Midnight. There's several games that
Fable looks crazy.
Really good. Yeah.
Oh, I do Fable. Yeah, I do want to play a new Fable, which sucks.
I think Xbox needs to be able to show the diversity, because PlayStation has spent decades building up a library of heavy hitters that they can return to again and again. They have a diverse and deep lineup of games that they can go to, especially with what Naughty Dog has put together and Insomniac. But Xbox doesn't have that. They've got a few heavy hitters, and then they play all the indie titles or all the third party stuff.
They're trying to build those heavy hitters now.
Look at what they're doing with the Resident Evil franchise. They're literally doing remakes of all their classics. And they've been amazing.
Capcom is killing it.
Right, Capcom is killing it. Like I said, we're playing it. Well, I mean, it's not the same exact game. There are obviously changes, but it's great. But I think if Microsoft were to bring back, like I said, remaster some of those classics that you had, get the thing. Hey, you want to do a remake of this game? That'll bring people back in that excitement, because nostalgia right now with gaming has been really killing it. Like I said, Resident Evil remakes are killing it right now.
You know what, Saggy?
Last of Us has been remade.
They are Microsoft. They've got the money. They can walk and chew bubblegum. They could do both of those. They could expand with the big titles, and they can also go back to some of these favorites and bring out a few more. I know a lot of people were looking forward to Perfect Dark and hadn't seen anything. Again, maybe that team is working on something else, but I think it's a newer team that was working on Perfect Dark.
Actually, Crystal Dynamics is working on it. The initiative started out strong.
Well, they've had a bit of turnover.
Had a lot of turnover. So, but and this is where I said this yesterday. Their current head of Xbox Studios, Matt Booty, who, by the way, for us retro guys, was head of Midway.
Yeah.
He said yesterday that those games like State of Decay 3, Perfect Dark, will be shown in the next 18 months.
Everwild.
He said those teams have an expectation set now that they need to come to the table. And I think that this all culminated from a very ticked off Phil Spencer after Redfall launched, and he had an interview with Kind of Funny Games, and I know I see it, and he said, "Don't bite my finger, don't bite my finger, don't bite my finger." He said, "Look, I'm not in a good mood today." Yeah, I know. He literally told the guys, "I know you guys are trying to cheer me up, but I'm in a bad mood," and all of a sudden, we're starting to see some things. The Xbox showcase was no longer the Xbox Bethesda showcase. Matt Booty comes out and says, we have expectations for the teams working on Perfect Dark and State of Decay 3. And it feels like that he's starting to reinsert himself into Xbox Game Studios. And I think they got the message. There was a lot in that showcase that was just, 2024 is going to be a huge, huge year for them. Avowed, which looks amazing. South of Midnight, which may come out in 2024. I'm not sure. Hellblade 2, Senua's,
Saga.
Game is Saga. That game is going to be their tentpole fall title.
Yeah.
And I know people are,
and
I don't think people are tired of Forza yet either, because everybody is hanging on to their seats for Motorsport, which is coming out in October.
Yeah.
So, I get, and people are wanting to reboot Halo, and I think you saw that, Saggy, to your point about 343, they decimated that whole studio. Like every studio head of 343 is gone. Even the folks who were part of Bungie's. Joseph Staten is gone. Frankie O'Connor is gone. And then the folks that they brought in from Microsoft's side to run it, Bonnie Ross, Kiki Wolfkill, they're gone. They had shaken up that entire studio. So I think they got the message on
Harry in receiving is still there. So
yes. John
Studio's
the Mailman.
tight. Yes.
John the Mailman is still there.
Yeah, it's.
I know is Halo 4 was trash. I did not care for Halo 4.
No,
I didn't care for it. Or 5.
Okay.
5 was even worse.
I'll give you 5, but I'll fight you in the octagon on 4.
Multiplayer on Halo 4 wasn't that great either. I was very disappointed.
No, multiplayer was not. Multiplayer on 5 was great. Big team battle was awesome.
I couldn't do it.
Well, sorry, Rab. We have just destroyed your.
No.
We were talking about
segmented into Xbox, so it's good. It was great. And I know we're running towards the end.
Let's have the Xbox guy on that.
I think it's nice to see. It's nice to see Xbox hitting their stride. I think Sony probably was a little soft on what they could put out right now. I think there's good reasons for why they were soft on their first party, what they could put out now. But Sony does not sit down for very long. I think 2024, they will have some big surprises. They will have things to be excited about. Nintendo, I know they're on the later years. This might be the last year or two of the Switch before we get some announcements. So, Nintendo is going to have some exciting stuff around the corner. It's very exciting. It's always very exciting. I just like to see this system get out there as well, because there's room for everybody. there's something out there for everybody, and it's kind of hard to kind of stand out when Xbox is doing Starfield, the greatest game the world has ever seen. Sony has
Watch it suck.
Spider-Man and God of War, and Saggy is no longer going to be. She's going to be uninvited with me next week. It's going to be a very lonely show.
Listen, no.
Apparently, after this show,
it'll just be you and the flamingo.
After this show, her and I are going to be fighting again.
Right, we are. No, I'm sorry. After Cyberpunk, I'm literally skeptical of anyone who's like, this game's gonna be the best game of the year. I'm gonna be like, watch it be like Cyberpunk all over again. It's gonna be like the hype is overrated, and then it's gonna flop, and I'm gonna be like, y'all just give my hopes up for nothing.
I'll say this about Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk made the mistake of not of talking without showing. The one thing that Bethesda is doing with Starfield is their show. Like they had a 40-minute direct just on Starfield Sunday. Like they went deep into Starfield. They went to the point to where even because Panda was on with us Sunday night, even Panda was going, okay, I've seen enough. I want the game. I've seen enough.
We scanned 7,000 people to get all varieties of freckles. Great.
Listen, the thing that I will say about Cyberpunk, the only thing that got people hyped, Keanu Reeves. Just show Keanu Reeves, just sold everybody. Everyone's like, oh my god, Keanu Reeves is in a game. That's awesome. Like delay. Game launches. So many problems on the PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, that Sony dropped it from the store.
And yet, as miserable as that experience was for some players with Cyberpunk, they're still working on it. They've got Keanu coming back. The game is still alive. Yep. There's new parts of the city opening up and stuff for people to explore. So, I mean, I have hope for something like a Redfall, which seemed very ambitious for Arcane. Yes, it came out. Everybody had super high expectations for it. It didn't deliver. With time, that game will get better. Hopefully, the audience gives it another chance when it does.
I would also just remind that Cyberpunk also sold 25 million copies. So
Keanu Reeves,
whatever did it,
bought 24 million.
Yeah. Steven Seagal. Hey, so I just ended the poll for everyone that voted. We had about close to 56 votes. So everybody wants to see some racing games.
That's
so
like half of what you get on an Astro Smash.
Fox never wins your polls, and I'm starting to get angry. Every time I show up and there's a poll,
see what I can do with Finnegan Fox.
I vote for Finnegan Fox. No one else votes for Finnegan Fox. I'm the only one, and I hate it.
I voted for racing games. I'm sorry, Saggy.
Every time. It's not even just you. Every time there's a poll with Amico games. And
I'm saying I always undermine and vote against you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I believe it because you guys are all hateful, evil people who just are out to get me.
Chuck, I voted for Missile Command because you and I need to get some Missile Command videos together.
Yeah, I'm actually going to work on something tomorrow for Missile Command.
Seth and I are going to do one over the weekend.
I wrote on Astro Smash just because we haven't seen very much Astro Smash. I'd like to see.
Thank you, Atari Creep. Finally, somebody who voted for Finnegan Fox. I'm the only one reading it. I hate it. You guys do this on purpose.
Says make Finnegan Fox all 4 choices on the next poll.
It still somehow lose.
It'll somehow lose.
I feel it every time. It's like nobody
came in second tonight, right? Came in second.
Yeah, it came in second.
Yeah, because I came in and voted. It was probably.
It had 35% of the votes. Dart Frenzy.
I lost to Dart Frenzy otherwise.
I should have logged into all my alt accounts and voted for Finnegan Fox. I'm cheating next time. I'm 100% cheating.
Ever notice almost every Steven Seagal
is going to go like Astro Smash.
Steven Seagal is.
Steven Seagal is underwater,
under siege, underwater,
under the deck. Steven Seagal is riding.
Dude, I love the art. Like space
Steven
Seagal
is no longer permitted on set.
Steven Seagal is not here.
I'm sorry. The Mad TV, Will Sasso as Steven Seagal on Mad TV was always my favorite.
He was pretty good with the ponytail and everything.
Yes.
He's such a great performer and a great voice actor,
overall.
and oh man,
he's currently in. I mean, and he's still going. He's currently in Young Sheldon.
I just started watching that again because I missed out on the last like 3 seasons. So I was like, I'm going to start watching.
You got
that.
a while to go to see him, but
okay, I figured it must be fairly newer.
Yeah,
but that's cool. Well, anyways, I want to thank everyone. I'm sorry, Saggy. I'm sorry I didn't check my phone to where I probably would have saw that you asked me to. But anyway,
it's
okay. It's okay.
Chuck Norris was governor.
Rab was paying attention. I can always count on Rab.
You didn't even ask me.
Well, you both were talking and Rab was silent, so I went for the silent one because I was like, the silent one will probably pay attention to his phone other than the other two that are talking because y'all were engaged in conversation. So I was like, Rab's not talking. I'm texting him. And it worked.
Yeah, he was a mayor of a town or something, or he was a part of a police force. I don't know. He really went downhill after a bit.
All I know about Steven Seagal is like he thought he was like the best martial artist on the planet, and it was like, bro, what?
Yeah, and then I heard that. Did you see the thing about the whole him hosting SNL back when SNL like actually was good?
Yeah,
like he was supposed to be like one of the worst. Like he didn't get the sense of humor or anything. He just wanted to look cool. And, like none of the things went over well. I'd love to watch that whole episode of.
I just remember.
Yeah, I guess it was the worst.
I remember his feud with Jean-Claude Van Damme, where Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, I don't have an issue with this guy. I don't know what his issue is. And it's like, and then you go watch Steven Seagal. He's like, yeah, no, Jean-Claude Van Damme's a fool. He's awful. And it's like, but Jean-Claude Van Damme hasn't said a bad word about you.
Right?
Steven Seagal is ego.
No, Seagal is not
a drama papa.
Exactly.
Like he will go out as like he will start his own cult just to like overrun his own compound.
Yeah, no, he is.
Tabloids.
He's a d-bag, like but he's a legit Aikido master. I mean, he is one of the few Americans that actually teach Aikido in Japan. So I can't argue his martial arts skill. I can argue he's a d-bag.
Can you do a split between two big trucks?
He doesn't.
While they're in motion.
He doesn't need to. He can actually take someone's legs and just split them for you.
Yeah, but Jean-Claude Van Damme can spread. He can
spread
them.
I am a
Ken
huge...
Seagal do a sit-up.
I am not anymore.
Not anymore.
Involved.
I can't.
No, I am a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme fan.
Seagal's a clout chaser.
Huge clout chaser. No, I'm a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. I'm a huge Chuck Norris fan. Those guys. I put those guys over top of Seagal as far as action hero guys.
I take everything back. We've got enough trouble online. I don't want to see the Seagal. The Seagal.
Now we're gonna have these Seagal fans going, what were they talking about the whole time?
Mike, if it makes you feel any better, Seagal is just, I know you're a huge Seagal fan, but Steven Seagal is just huge. So there you go.
That's a great segue.
Yes. Next thing you know, I'll have people DMing me. Did you see the video Steven Seagal made about you?
Steven Seagal is larger than life.
Wait, hold on. Wait, has Steven Seagal been in the Expendables? If he hasn't been in the Expendables, I don't count him as an actor.
Steven Seagal is beeping on the backup.
Wait, has he been in the Expendables? I think I've only saw the first two. No, he hasn't.
No,
I don't think so.
Probably because Jean-Claude Van Damme was in it.
Stallone and Willis.
No. Yes, Van Damme was it. He was in.
He was in the second one.
He was in the second one.
Yes.
Fully deserved.
Why does Steven Seagal never got a call for the meeting? I bet you he did get a call, and he's like, "No, I'm too big of a martial artist."
Pretty bet Stallone didn't want him.
Guidos to Japan. I don't know.
Yeah. Now look, Expendables 4 has Tony Jaa in it. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, new Expendables coming in September. I really liked. I saw that Fubar with Arnold Schwarzenegger on Netflix. That is really good.
50 Cent's going to be in the new Expendables too.
He's not that old yet, though. Why is he going to be in the new one?
Why is he's not even like a huge action star?
He's 47 years. He's almost 50. He's only 2 years younger than me.
But he's not even an action star.
Jason Statham is in it.
And
Randy Couture is in it. Dolph Lundgren's in it.
But he's not an action star.
50 Cent tried to be.
Oh yeah, he did, but that doesn't count. He's not like an old because the reason why the Expendables.
He's not as old as, but like Tony Jaa is not that old either.
I don't know.
Megan Fox is in it. I don't know why.
I'm done. I can't watch it. I'm done. But because like we have all the whole thing about the Expendables, you have all these classic like actors who are in all these action movies, like being in an action movie as old as they are. Like that was a whole gimmick, and now you're having 50 Cent and Megan Fox.
Yeah, but I don't think Megan. Well, but
that seems very shallow.
Ronda Rousey was in the last one too, and she's not that old.
Yeah, they're really kind of stretching the whole Expendables thing out to be not about the big action stars now.
Yeah, but they should have like Sigourney Weaver, or they should have.
Yeah, they did have.
They had Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was.
I mean, he's
from
like a Gina Davis or someone that's.
Yeah, he was Blade.
Wesley Snipes was in a lot of action movies back.
No, but I mean, as far as age wise, he's not quite. I think he might be in his like late 50s.
Wait, how? No, he's older than Wesley Snipes definitely is older than that.
He's older than that.
You're older.
Yeah.
Really?
He was in his late 20s and the late.
Hold on.
Late 80s.
He's 60.
Oh,
he's 60 years old.
He's 60. Well, so I said late 50s, so I'm not that far off. Kelsey's going to never know. This is very true, Cousin Board. So he's 60. So he's not that. I mean, he's not quite. Yeah. He's not as old as Stallone.
If you guys want to, if you want to see something good, check out FUBAR on Netflix with Schwarzenegger.
I want to see that.
No, I want to see that.
Michael Hayes had nothing to do with that one.
I want to.
Yeah, that was a different FUBAR altogether. It's great. The whole supporting
not quite as entertaining.
There was a great commercial for Netflix with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Chris Hemsworth, and they were because Chris Hemsworth, now that he's not Thor anymore, he's doing Netflix shows. He's got a Netflix movie of his own. Mm-hmm. So they're meeting in the elevator, and Schwarzenegger's trying to give him like lines to say. And he's like, "You know what you should say? You should hit somebody over the head with a clock and say, 'Your time is up.'" And like Chris Hemsworth's just standing there going, "Yeah, that sounds great." It was.
That's funny. No, I thought it was pretty good. But another segue. What do you got coming up on NLG?
What do I have up on? So yesterday was the NLG show. We covered. We started covering showcases. We covered the Xbox showcase and covered part of the Ubisoft showcase. Tomorrow night, I'm going to stream something. I'm not sure yet, and I am now doing game streams on Rumble because YouTube is a joke. So I'm starting to move some content to Rumble. We're actually starting to simul-stream we did that yesterday for the very first time. The NLG show was both simul-streamed on YouTube and Rumble. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. It's either going to be some more Jedi Survivor because I really need to get that game done with all the stuff coming up. Or I might start, there's a game on Game Pass called Planet of Lana that I've heard really good things about, and I may try that. And then over the weekend, Seth and I are going to put together our Missile Command video and try to get that out soon. Next week on the show, next Tuesday night, we're going to talk about more. The next couple of weeks, there's so many games, not just Xbox, but PlayStation, Switch, PC. There's so many games that came out of all these showcases that there was no way we were going to get it in one show. We're going to spend the next couple of weeks just talking about all the great stuff we saw. Dude, Sonic. There's a new Sonic coming.
Looked good.
Sonic that harkens back to my old Sonic days. That's stuff like that. So we're going to keep talking about that stuff as well.
The nostalgia is strong. Saggy told you.
It is. It is.
I'm telling you, this nostalgia sells, man.
Always does.
What do you got coming up on your channel, Saggy? Besides streaming every day.
Whatever the world gives her.
Whatever the world gives you.
Drama.
Drama.
What do we
There's some drama.
It's always drama. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of drama tomorrow.
Oh yeah, they'll be just from you being on here. I can't wait to watch.
Yep. I can't wait. Everyone's like, I thought you were done talking to Miko. Yeah, I mean, I can talk to my friends though, can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. We're not
But you actually talked to
each other.
Miko too, so
A little bit,
boy.
yes. A little
Oh,
bit. Although I was
boy.
focused more on Xbox and PlayStation, but they'll spin it for the people will spin it.
Do they?
Yeah.
Can see that happening.
You spin me right round, baby,
Round,
right.
round like a record.
And stop.
baby.
All right.
Only that much.
You
and
sound
then
like
we
a
have
broken
to
record
claim it.
And then we
Don't
get
use
copyright claimed, right?
Wait, do you get copyright claim for singing?
No.
No.
I don't know. I don't
No.
think so.
No.
Yeah.
Doesn't that count as
But
like
you
a
know what?
cover?
What if it's so
With
good? Like, would
YouTube-
that
Yeah,
be like, I got
that's
claimed?
mechanical license for a
because I
You know what
sang it
though?
perfectly.
With YouTube, I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh, dude, I've got the stuff I get claimed on. It's unbelievable. The stuff I have to kind of. It doesn't matter.
If you're really good and really in tone and in the right pitch, then I'm sure some of the programs might catch something. But technically, that's a mechanical license. It's
Yeah, it has to go directly from the licensed music holder or whatever. Anyways, yeah. So I got what do I have coming up? Yeah, I'm working on Missile Command video. I also was going to do some more on the Dart game, and I got a lot of lunchtime streams going on, and then I got Mr. Turtle on the new game on Intellivision,
Nice.
the new classic one. So I'll be having that coming up as soon as that comes in the mail. But other than that, I will see you next week for our 80th show. I'm pretty sure we'll have Creep on because he just got his Amico. So if you haven't checked out his channel, check out his update on that and him talking about that. And then subscribe to all these wonderful people right here in the panel as well. And we will see you next week for the 80th. I'm sure we're going to have some special guests on. There'll be so many people, we won't be able to even talk. Anyways, we'll see you next week.
Cede the floor to
give
the
me, give me
flamingo.
a second to put Creep's.
Already canceled.
There we go. In
Oh,
the
you
chat.
What do you got?
Got it.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Spin a gimbal, tiny dreidel.
There's the link in the
Ah,
chat.
very nice.
Link in the
Very
chat,
nice,
guys.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, Judd Alvarado says, yeah, dude, karaoke on the next show.
John
Yes.
Alvarado, I'll be thinking about you, granting my
Maybe
wishes.
we'll speak in music stuff.
Yeah, that's a
Oh
copyright
God.
claim.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm
there
gonna
we
just
go.
picture John Alvarado as my personal genie now.
Amico Forever, the musical. Oh,
Dude, I mean, if we could do it, if I could write a script for that. If you want to do a musical.
I could do a musical.
Are we
Next
gonna do
week,
a
the musical.
We could do
Amico
it
the
for your
musical.
100th show.
Welcome, Saggy, bringing all this drama.
We need to do Amico the television Amico the musical. Oh my god.
I can't wait. The musical coming next week on the 80th. Take care.